right, folks, so finally getting back on this Cordoba. Man, it's been about 2 months since I took the water pump off. It's been sitting under the carport there, but so it's not a Barrett Jackson car, guys, so I just kind of use what paint that I have, and it does not appear that I have any Chrysler blue paint. I'm sorry. But the whole engine is going to eventually come out and be going through new bearings, rings. But for right now, I just want to get a water pump on it so I can drive it around, just yard drive it. It's not ready for the road yet. So I got some Ford blue engine paint and whatever the heck that is. I think that's the old Chrysler color. So we'll probably start out with the old color. I need to use these up, and then once we get that good and dry, we'll top it off with something that's a little bit more, I don't know. I've always used engine color, any color, engine color don't matter, and then top it off with a color that's more correct to the car. We'll figure out something, but let me get started on it, guys. Okay, folks, so that's coat number 1. It is definitely Ford blue. Ain't no doubt about that, but we'll put a lighter color blue on it, make it look a little bit more Chrysler blue. By the way, I don't know if I said it's a Slant 6 car with it's like $1,000 piece of crap. We're just trying to get going, so no big deal. But I gotta let this dry. It's only about 38 degrees. Of course, on the back of the can it says not to do this below 45, but I have got to do it. I ain't got a choice. I got to get this thing going. Take advantage on these winter days of what I can. I know my shop's not heated, so it is what it is. So hopefully it'll dry next hour or two. Time stamp my memory. Okay, guys, the parts have arrived to fix this car. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a tool and clean up the mating surface for the gasket on this here, the pump housing, and then I'm going to chase all the bolt holes. So let me get you set up on the tripod. You can watch me do that. Alright, guys, so I got a 3/8 by 16 tap. Just to clean these holes out here. When I was doing the sanding disc, I had wore that one sanding disc down to the rubber backing. Stopped just in time before I damaged that backing. Thank goodness. Oh, it's coming out that hole, so that one came out good. Let's back this one out. And of course it gets a lot of dirt on it, as you can see. So let's clean that up. Let's go through it one more time. I actually degreased this engine, and it is just caked on there so good. It needs to be cleaned again. It's cool, isn't it? The threads are fine, just got dirt in it. And we have to use the handle, just doing it the tap by hand. Not quite as much dirt that time. I'm going to turn you off while I go through these. You're seeing how I'm doing them. And when I get them all clean, we'll mount the water pump. All right, guys, there's no room to fit the tap tool right here. So I had to go get a socket It fits on that tap pretty easily. And this is 11/30 seconds for this particular tap. They're different sizes. But let me continue on. It's getting ready to rain on me. And as you can see, the ratchet with that little socket is working. So I'll probably use this on the rest of them. It gives me a little bit more room. It's still rubbing that pulley, but it's going in there no problem. All right, so I got all the holes chased out. Everything went good, just got a little dirt in them. One of the holes, I had a hell of a time getting the bolt out when I was taking this all apart and had to get the torch out. I think it might have been this one. It took like 20 or 30 minutes. I torch it, get it good and hot, turn it maybe a turn and a quarter. Torch it, get it good and hot, turn and a quarter, and just took forever, but I finally got it out. And I'm believing it might have been this one because it was full of dirt. Anyway, I'm gonna get the bolts. You saw me clean the bolts in a previous video. Let me get the bolts and just run them through just to make sure everything's good there. And I'm getting a little drops on them right now, so we gotta hurry. All right, guys, hope you can see what we're doing here. Put the pump on. Trying to put the pump on anyway. Get this bolt started. And get the other bolt started. I'm not exactly sure where all the bolts go. There's got one that's shorter than the rest of them. And that puzzles me a little bit. I hate it when that happens. There we go. I'm gonna have my arm in your way over here on this side, I believe, but just bear with me for a minute or two. Well, maybe not. I got one bolt I need to clean up. The thread's rusted on it again. So I brought a little wire brush and some liquid wrench with me. Hopefully, probably need to get a wrench. The socket's gonna get in here. Let me clean that other bolt up and we'll stick it in right here. And of course, I get my brand new painted. The water pump is the wrong colors. Only freaking blue I had, but we're going to eventually pull the motor out and freshen it up, so we'll paint the whole thing then. Okay, and back with you. I get it. This one here. Okay, I need to put the. What am I thinking? I need to put the power steering pump back on. That's why these bolts are longer. I'm wondering about that. I'll do that right quick. That makes some sense, doesn't it? And that one too, for that matter. Crank this down just a little bit. And I was debating putting this pump back together, but for right now, to save time, I want to put it back together. All right. That one goes down there. That'll be in your way again. That I'll put the belt on. I'll just put the pump on. I meant to check that pulley. Make sure that pulley was going to be right. I forgot to do it right here. Should have checked to make sure that pulley's going to fit. Well, I'm getting a rush. See if I can get a better angle. I'm not blocking you guys. Those three of you that are watching. Alright, let's get this last bolt started right here. There we go. This compressor went right here. Maybe. Tight. Yes. 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 Oh yeah. Okay, the water pump is officially on. Power steering pump is hooked back up. The next thing to do is to place this water neck. It's real rusty, and put a lower hose on it. Let me grab my lower hose that I got and make sure that'll work. It doesn't look quite the same. I'll be right back. Okay folks, so I had the lower hose on. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get you on the video on that. It was a booger. Had to cut it twice. It was about 4 inches too long, but it's the exact same hose. They just added 4 inches to this end that goes in the radiator. That's cool, whatever. I guess it fits trucks or bigger cars or something. And this car here is a little smaller. Not that much distance between the radiator and the engine. That's the only thing I can figure. Anyway, I have misplaced my plug. My heater core is leaking, so I'm not hooking it up. I just put plugs on it, and I have misplaced that one. Or maybe I never had one. I don't remember. We'll go to the store and buy another one of those. And I need to get this water neck off and replace it. So I'm working on that now. All right, folks, Bob here. Back on the Cordoba, the Slant 6 Cordoba. A couple of things have come up. It's probably a week, maybe a little better than a week since I last was on the video. And I had to quit then because my back was starting to hurt so bad. We've had a bomb cyclone come through, a lot of snow and ice and really cold temperatures. And believe it or not, I signed a new contract, even though I retired earlier. I signed a new contract and I went back to work. So I don't know why I did that, but we'll give it a try. Anyway, I'm working again, so not so much for being off and having time to do this stuff. But so I was off. I was working the whole week. The weather was bad. Oh, my old bones don't like that cold. But anyway, we're back at it today. I bought a new thermostat housing right here. This one here is cast iron, which is what I like. It's rough. I want to get this thing done. I don't want to sit here and clean this up the rest of the day. And so I bought this thing here, and I thought it said, let me pause you a little bit because I can't open this with one hand. Hold on. Okay, it's very lightweight, and it's made out of aluminum, or aluminium as they say in England. if you watch that show Top Gear. But don't like that. These aluminum ones will warp on you real easy. Just not a fan. I'm gonna put it on for now because I don't want to screw around with messing with that, but I'll probably save that and clean it up. I'll probably save it and lose it, and then when I need it, I won't be able to find it. 2 years later, I'll find it. But for right now, we're going to put it on, put this thing on. I'm not going to put a thermostat in it right now. Now you go out, you guys are going to say, oh no, that's crazy. And I get it. I totally get it. And you're right. But out of thermostat, build up condensation in the engine. But right now, I just want to get the thing circulating. And I'm almost positive I'm going to take that back off. So we'll just hold off on this thermostat for right now. This summer, there's a good chance this motor's gonna come out for a refresh. So we'll worry about it then. Maybe by then I'll have this one cleaned up. But let me get you set up on the tripod. And we'll do the same thing. We'll get the sandpaper disc and clean off the surface there and get this housing put on and hook up the hoses and the fan blade and whatnot. We should be done. All right, folks. I don't know how good you can see. I got a light shining on it, but it's all the old gaskets there. So let's see if we can clean it up. That disc is about wore out. Let me replace it right quick. All right, fresh disc. Let's go at it. Let's try that, see how that looks. Okay. Actually got it pretty clean. Maybe the water's not dirty as hell. Man, this thing is covered in grease. All right, let's try putting the gasket on that. Be right back. All right, guys. So I got the water neck, the brand new water neck housing. Got the gasket on it. Got it full of goop. And let me get you set up on a tripod. We'll put this thing on. I had one bolt that's a little funny. Not sure about that. I cleaned it with the wire wheel, but these bolts are rusty and they just had pits in them. But we'll see what happens. Alrighty. Cross our fingers, guys, it don't leak, and I'll be shocked if it doesn't. On the ground. Oh, me. Let's get this bottom bolt in. Should have a straight shot into the cylinder head without a thermostat. I understand that. But for right now, that's what I want to happen. As much gunk that was in that hose and in that housing, probably going to run a radiator flush through it. But that housing's thicker than I thought it was. So maybe that bolt will be okay. this, I hate this, I hate this. I hate this damn aluminum. It'll crack so easy, it warps so easy. I hate it. So what happens, they get hot, they expand and they contract, and they get cold, and it just, that top one is tight. At least the bolt's tight. I don't know if it's tight against the housing, but it sure ain't gonna turn no further. This one here is still turning, but I feel like that's enough. Alrighty. Let me test fit those bolts. I had to do that. I've only got 3 fan bolts. I can go back and look at the video. I don't know how good you guys can see. I don't have a magnetic camera mount. There's really not a good place to put one. It's tight in here. Yeah, that's going in. But we're trying to put the fan in. So I don't think you guys can see none of that, can you? No, you can't. This is in the way. But I got to put the shroud back here because it's got to go on too. Tell you what, I'm going to cut you off to save on the video. That's what I'm trying to do right there. Is install the fan, pulleys and all. Let me cut you off for just a second. Well, remember I told you I was missing a bolt. This middle one here is the correct size. It's the one from the car. So I dug into my old bolt bin, bolt bucket. This is a hand-me-down from my dad. I've had this, gosh, over 40 years, probably 45 years. I've added a lot to it since then, of course. I've got some extra bolt bins on top of this one. But there's 2. This one here, they're all a little bit, tiny bit long, but I believe they go out the back of the water pump. I don't think it's going to hurt anything if they do. Let me just check them, clean the threads up, make sure they're the right thread. And if it is, I'll use the shorter one of the 2. All right, so I ended up using the longer bolt. The shorter of the 2 bolts was fine thread. So I got the longer one here. And then I had to add some threads down to it just to make sure I had plenty of engagement. And I do, so let's see if it'll go in and it doesn't, as the pump turns, it doesn't hit anything. If it does, I'll have to cut it off. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna leave it like that. Let's get to rocking. All right, so the bolt's threaded in and it's not hitting anything, as you can see right there. That's something you won't normally have to deal with. That's whatever reason, this one is missing a bolt. I don't know why. So we're good to go there. As long as it'll go on, this whole assembly has to go on as one piece because I didn't take the fan out. So as long as I can get it in without long of a bolt sticking through, I think I can. Let's find out. All right, guys, so the fan blade is on. It's not interfering with anything. That was fun, I'm gonna tell you what. All right, I think next I'm going to put the shroud on and then we'll put the belts on. So I'm not gonna be able to let you see me doing the shroud. It's just 4 little skinny little bolts right here. They go in each corner. Again, it's just gonna be difficult to get a camera angle. Maybe I can video the belts going on though. Okay, the shroud is on. Right here. All 4 bolts went back in. Running out of parts. Got 2 fan belts and an upper radiator hose, and that's it. And a battery. We should be able to fire it up. So let me get started. On these cars, 81 Slant 6, right here, these little knots, you put a 1/2-inch drive ratchet in there, and you can pull up on it and tightens the belt. After you get these 3 bolts here loose, and just unloose them just enough for the slide, and then once you tighten it, sometimes it helps have a little ball in your ratchet, and get it tight, and that belt will be good to go. Okay, the power steering belt is on, and the alternator belt is on, the water pump belt's on, same belt as the alternator. And everything looks good. Everything's tight, belts are tight. Only thing left to do is to put this top radiator hose on and put a battery in it, spin it over, see if we can get it to start. And if we can get it to start, it runs, we'll put a little water in it. A little antifreeze in it, excuse me. And I've been standing on this ice out here for about 3 hours now. Tired of that. Sorry I couldn't film that for you guys, but that's you understand how I put belts on. But you saw the little trick down there. Down here, I just simply took this pry bar right here, the orange pry bar, wedged it right down in that bracket there, and just lifted all that up, tightened it down. All right, let me get this hose on. All right, hoses are on, clamps are tight. I think I mentioned in a previous video, I think it was the video of the Mustang I've got. Somebody had put that car together. I bought it already put together, and I was having to work on it, and had the hose clamps turned where you couldn't get to the screws. It's ridiculous on the back side. How the hell he did that? So always turn your hose clamps where you can get to them easy, guys. All right, let me go grab a battery, and we'll see if we can get this thing started up. All right, guys, let me go grab the battery. It's in this truck. It's the one that I bought the other day. If you follow the channel, you saw what happened with the Dakota, and I had to buy a battery real quick just to get home. Okay, let me grab that. You're gonna watch me fall, slip, bust my ace on this ice right here, probably. I forgot it's got a handle on it. Boy, thank goodness. Well, now let me get you down where you can see a little bit. A little too low. All right, we got the positive. This ain't gonna work. Is it? I don't think this battery's configured right either. That's the reason I couldn't use it in the Dakota. Nope. Let's try it this way. Can't get a break here. Battery ain't gonna work. So then, all right, let me go grab the other battery. I'll be right back. Got another brand new one that I know will work. I think I know it'll work. Let's try it. Okay, this battery fits much better. Negative where it should be. It's the right size to fit the tray. This is the one I took out of the Dakota that I bought when I was having the electrical problems. I was trying to trace it down, and I wanted a good fresh battery to do that. I'm out of breath. I just hauled this thing 70 yards. Anyway, let me hook this up, and we'll be ready to start it. Remember, positive cable hooks up first, negative cable goes on last. Okay, so tightening these clamps up. That one there broke on me, but I think I got it snug enough it'll start up. Check the oil's way over full. Didn't see any water, so we're okay there. It's probably a quart over full. I don't know what happened there. And no choke, so it's cold out here. You see the ice isn't melting, and I've been walking on all day. Probably 34 maybe in the shade, cold asphalt. Let me get you set up on the tripod. I'm gonna squirt a little bit of carb cleaner down the carburetor and see if we can't light her up. Let me put you where I don't walk across in front of you all the time. How about that? This may take a few trips till it picks up. It's got a little less than a quarter tank of gas in it. And I imagine that fuel pump's weak as heck. Well, I thought we had it that time. What was going to go? I didn't want to rev it too high because it's cold. The oil's old and dirty. The motor is in amazingly good shape. I ain't heard any noises, but I don't want to spin a bearing in this cold air. I don't have a clear fuel filter, so I don't know how we're looking there. Okay, so pretty obvious it's going to run, no belt squeaks. Everything looks good. So let me pour some coolant in it and go get my jug in case it leaks out. Alright, so we're going to pour antifreeze or coolant down in it, a mix, concentrate. And everything I'm putting in it is used. It came out of other cars. But it's good. It's good enough for this car. It still registers down below, right around 20. We'll be fine. Got my pan up under there, a little yellow pan. It's dirty, so if anything leaks, we ain't gonna save the coolant this time. And my temperature gauge, I do not believe works. Actually, I don't have a gauge. I have a light. I don't like that. It just turns red when it gets hot. So I got my thermal gauge. So let me get you set up on the tripod. We're gonna pour a little coolant in it. It says on there mix various cars I've worked on and just drained the antifreeze, and it looked like it was still good antifreeze, so held on to it. Don't throw it away when you're working on this kind of crap like this. Yeah, see? Probably not. Let's get you right over here. Right there. Okay. Don't want nothing leaking. Look at it. Pretty green. It's nice. Mixed meaning it's got water in it. It's antifreeze from multiple cars. I hear it going down. Is it leaking anywhere? Not yet. The video's getting long. I'm hoping there's still some in the block. I had put antifreeze in it when I bought it. Oh, me, there we go. There's one. Woo, more one. It wasn't quite a full gallon though. That was like 3/4. Another one right here. We got a funnel. So far, I don't hear anything leaking. Let's make sure. I know we spilled some, but let's just see if everything's good. Didn't spill enough to leak on the ground yet. That's good. My back is killing me. That radiator shroud and fan belts about whooped this old guy. Alright, we're getting it full. Yeah, we got a leak, got a leak, got a leak, got a leak. See a leak, see a leak. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Afraid of that. What in the world? Oh crap, I didn't see that. Oh no, there's a bypass hose that I did not catch. Right up under the here. If I can. Out there. That nipple was supposed to go down to this and plug that. I didn't even think about that. I just thought that both of those ran to the firewall, but that's the bypass. So let me go grab another cap, plug that. Okay, it is on there. Right here. Got it pretty tight. I'm gonna put the cap back on and let it run. Okay, so I keep adding antifreeze. Open up a brand new jug I just bought a little while back, concentrate. And when you're filling up a system that's been drained, you don't want to fill it all the way to the top right here. You want to leave it about 1 inch below. And when it gets hot, it expands and whatnot. So far, still no leaks that I can see. Nothing's dripping in the pan. I don't hear anything dripping between the damn traffic going by on the highway. That's the bad thing about working out here under the carport. The traffic out there is relentless. But I'm gonna start it back up, let it run again. I got enough coolant in it now. I'm confident it'll run, not burn up anything. And I did put the thermal on the head and the water pump and the hoses. The head was only about 20 degrees warmer, but it only reached 94. So let's let it run a little longer this time. See that, the fast idle kickdown work. I think it's even got the electronic idle control, but it slowly idles down by itself. Got both, so I believe it does. Let's see what happens. It did burst a little bit, belch a little bit out of the radiator. I see that. it does have a coolant temp gauge, and it's not working. It's been running, this latest time it's been running 10 minutes, probably a total of 15 to 16 minutes. And it should have come off cold by now. I know it ain't got a thermostat in it, but it should have come off cold. I don't believe it's ever worked. So according to my heat gun, about 130 at the head, around 110 at the water neck outlet. The radiator itself is around 90. So I'm gonna put a sending unit, see if I can't swap one out for one of the cars. If I don't get it working, maybe a fuse, or I hope the gauge ain't bad. Okay guys, well there you have it. It is the water pump installed on the 81 Chrysler Cordoba LS package with the Slant 6 engine, and who knows how many miles. And it's one of these cars that was kind of found back in the back of a guy's yard, been sitting for a long time, and just, it'll never be worth any money. You know, we've done several videos on it. We're not gonna go through that spiel again, but I've been trying to fix it up. Just, it's a good looking body style, and the car seems to run okay. It fixed those vacuum leaks and maybe a fresh set of plugs and wires, filters, oil change. So if you got something out of that, please hit that like button on this video. Share this video with your friends. I know it's a long video. We're gonna try to edit it and narrate it now as best we can. And hit that bell notification also, guys. And scroll down. I got a lot of video, a lot of content on the channel now, probably 5 years worth. Some of it's pretty good, some of it ain't worth a crap. Pick and choose what you like. Watch those videos and subscribe and hit the like button on those, rather. Hit the like button and share those also. Okay, Bob out.